welcome back to Making It. My name is Mirabelle, and on this podcast, I speak with other creatives about all things creativity, entrepreneurship, and mental health. In today's episode, I'm chatting with Sidney Diongzon, a filmmaker, photographer, and YouTuber. He does gear reviews, tutorials, and works with various brands on his channel. He currently co-hosts Sony's new web series, The Lowdown, with Jenna Azaric, where they showcase new Sony products and do a bunch of fun challenges. I came across Sidney's YouTube channel years ago when I was getting into photography and filmmaking, and his tutorials have helped me get to where I am today. So suffice to say, this episode was really fun for me to record. We talk about how he went from traditional film school to becoming a YouTuber, the things he has to consider when he makes his videos, how he plans his videos, what his routine kind of looks like, the challenges he faces, and a lot more. So I hope you enjoy the episode, and if you do, please rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening to this, or leave a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube, and I will see you soon. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Making It.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
This is exciting. Because you just complimented my lighting setup, and I have you to thank for that, and all the other like filmmaker, photographer, YouTubers out there, all the videos. So thank you for.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it looks. Your set looks amazing. It's fantastic.
This is like my live stream setup where I stream on Twitch. I do music on there, so.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Thanks. So I was reading your blog a little bit, and you mentioned that you get up at 4 a.m. Do you still do that? Is that a regular routine?
It has. Well, I changed it to 4:30. But when I was working a full-time job, I would wake up at 4 to do some work for YouTube, right? Just to build my channel and stuff like that. But now that I'm a full-time content creator, I just spend that morning just to do some like self-care stuff, like just routine morning stretches and exercises and stuff like that. A bit of quiet time just to mentally and physically prepare myself for the day, because, I'm very intense throughout the entire day. And so that means I don't really take care of myself because I'm just focused on my work. And so I like waking up in the morning a lot. I do, because I just feel like I can get a lot of work done. Like, I'm such a morning person. And so if I know I can at least do those things like of self-care, then at least I know that I'm taken care of for the day, if that makes sense. But but yeah, long story short, yes, I still wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
I cannot relate. I am such a night owl. I can't.
Yeah. Do you get more creative at night?
I do.
Yeah.
And then I realize if I start anything at 10 p.m., I will not be done until 2 a.m. And so I'm realizing maybe if I have commitments in the morning, I can't do that, right?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Do you have if you get up at 4:30 a.m., what time do you sleep? Do you get enough sleep?
Yeah, I mean, I know sleep is something that I'm trying to get better at, and so I try not to stay past 10 o'clock, even though I can go past midnight if I want to, but I know I don't get enough sleep if I do that. So I try to sleep around I'm bed, eyes shut, around 10-ish, and so yeah, it's a work in progress.
That's good.
And so yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious because normal 9-to-5 jobs have a clear start and end time, but when you're your own boss, essentially, it gets blurry when you end your work. At least for me right now, sometimes I get into the zone of doing something, and then it could take the entire day, 12 hours, 12 more hours, and
yeah,
it's easy to burn out.
I totally understand that, especially if you have a home office. And when I had a home office, my YouTube studio would be in my house, it was hard for me to clock out at 5. I wouldn't mentally clock out, and I'd be so distracted. My wife would tell me, it's you're physically clocked out, but you're not mentally clocked out. Right. And so we made the decision to move my studio outside the house, and so which is why I moved over here. And when I'm done, like I can actually clock out because I physically can't be near my computer. Like if I'm near my computer or my cameras, I'm tempted to like just make stuff. That's just how I'm wired, and I love it. That's who I am. But if I can set things in place where work is work, home is home, it just makes life a lot easier for everybody. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I strive for that right now to have like a clear separation between work and home, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not perfect. Like, I mean, there are times where I have to stay late, like today I'm staying late, and there are some nights where I do have to work. And I think when it comes to that stuff, if you have a partner, you just got to communicate that. Because if, I'm pretty sure a lot of entrepreneurs and creatives are like this, where you're thinking your schedule for the rest of the day, and you think everybody knows that, but you haven't communicated that physically. And so for me, it was hard for me to like just think that everyone was thinking the same thing that I was thinking, but I had to like tell my wife, hey, this is what I'm doing. These are my plans. And, it's gotten a lot better, definitely gotten a lot better, but you learn as you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Communication's important. Can you kind of give us a little brief history of how you got to where you are now, being a full-time content creator?
Yeah. So I loved making videos as a kid. I went to film school, and I was going to do the whole, work at a studio and climb that ladder. But then I quickly realized I didn't really like being told what to do. So I just kind of did my own thing, shot weddings, corporate videos here and there, lived out in England for a little bit, shot like weddings over there, kind of grew my wedding business. I didn't really enjoy it after like 5 years. And so I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to try YouTube. I like filmmaking. I like teaching stuff. So, I geek out about camera gear anyway. So let's give it a shot. So I did that. Loved it. First 10 videos sucked because I copied Casey Neistat videos to a T, and when I was not getting the same views that he was, I was like, this is so weird. Why am I putting all this effort for like no views? I'm just going to call it quits and I'll just go back to weddings, whatever. And so I decided to make just one more video, but a video just for me. And it was different from my other videos. And after I made that video, that was the video that got a lot of views and actually launched my YouTube career. And so that's when I realized like, oh, okay. So I guess if you want to stand out, you can't copy another creator. You just got to just make stuff for yourself. And so that's what I did. And here I am now.
Nice. I think copying Casey is like every single wannabe YouTuber did that.
Yeah.
It was really like the launch of an era, I think, when Casey was doing those vlogs all the time.
Yeah. And it's tempting to like, copy someone's successes, but specifically with a career like YouTube, where it's a business / a creative platform, you really have to dig deep down and just be you. And if you want to stand out, you have to double down on being you and just own it. If you're goofy, be goofy. If you, if you don't want to be all extravagant and be loud and you're more of a soft tone kind of person, then just be that. If you're more chill, then be that. So it's like whoever you are, you just gotta be you.
Do you have any kind of advice for people who maybe don't know how to express themselves really, or like don't know who they are yet, but want to like make it in this space?
Being in front of a camera is scary and weird. And I guess you are more self-aware of who you're portraying yourself to be. But I think the more comfortable you are with a camera and the more you do it, then the less you think about those things and you actually start being you. When I first picked up a camera, started vlogging, vlogging in public, people are looking and it's like, oh, hey guys, I'm here. Here's the newest camera. But now it's become like just so natural. It's like I just hit the record button and I can just be goofy. And I think I've not cared so much as far as like making the shot look perfect versus just capture you. Like if it's not perfect, that's totally fine. And so coming to terms of that, I think was very important for me. And so, so for people just are struggling in that area, just, like with anything, just practice until it becomes second nature. Yeah.
Do you have deleted videos on your YouTube channel, or is everything just there? Everything that's on there is what you kept?
That's a really good question. That I think I've kept most things. I mean, I think the only videos that I've hidden or deleted were probably like my old wedding videos, I guess. Things that don't really align with the stuff that I do now. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to dig back into my history.
I low-key I went back to your like first video that's on there.
Oh, did you? Oh no, what was it? I don't remember.
Oh, it was like some skit. You were in England. It was some skit of the 4th of July fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also
it's so far from what you do now.
It is. I mean, but I love making silly videos like that when I was younger. Like Film Riot, they're a big YouTube channel, and I used to follow them all the time. And so they would do skits, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do skits too. And I did it for the fun of it. But yeah, that was some fun times.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like seeing videos of your kids too, they've grown up so much. And I guess, is that real? I mean, it's mainly for you, right? When you make these videos. But when you made that decision to put it on the internet, it's that had to have been a conscious decision, right?
It was, and there are like things you obviously think about as a parent, and the safety of your kids and stuff like that. But I have a rule where I never film like within a mile of my house. Like, I don't want people to know like any hint or whatever where I am, where I'm located. And so whatever you see, I'm nowhere near my house. Good. But I think it's a balance too, because I love making videos about how to use cameras, how to make videos, but I also like showing and putting the cameras to good use. You know what I mean? Like and for me, like that comes in my series called Film Journals, where I just capture my favorite moments with my family. And it's I love it. We love it because it's like fun to look back on every now and then. Like, just maybe like once a month we just look back at our old videos and we just fall in love with it. And it's just so nice. And so for me, I'm trying to play that balance where I don't show my kids all the time, but also it's my channel. I want to make stuff for me. I have stuff that I want to teach and all that stuff, but also part of my channel is me and my life. And I do want to document that. I don't want to make a second YouTube channel. I want to keep everything in one channel. But yeah, I mean, if like when I'm old and gray and stuff like that, like the videos that I will be watching will be those videos of, my kids when they're younger and stuff like that. Not necessarily the tutorials. That's, for another group of people. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, like if it's your channel, you should be able to make whatever you want. And then with things like kids, obviously just you make the right decision you feel is best for you, whether you have a partner or not. Again, communication is key. But yeah, it was a decision to do, but also like I'm never going to be one of those family vloggers where I just vlog every day with them. I just can't do that. I really can't. And also, yeah, I do want to protect my kids, and I don't want them to be in front of a camera all the time. But they like it, we like it, and so we're just trying to play that happy balance.
You'll just have the most cinematic family videos.
I know, right? Like if you're gonna make a home video, may as well make it look cinematic. Why not?
It's a full-on movie. Yeah. Amazing. But yeah, the thing you said about as like not having a second channel, I think, yeah, like nowadays it seems like that's the way that lots of people do it, where they have separate channels for different topics, I guess, that they film and stuff. Yeah, like what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. I've thought about it. And so I know I have friends that have made second channels, and some love it and then some don't. And so I think I've been hearing lately, the past couple of weeks, that they regret having a second channel because it just puts more pressure to do more stuff. And so, and I don't want to do that. Like my brain can only handle so much. And so I think I'd rather just focus on one YouTube channel, one Instagram account, one TikTok account. You know what I mean? Just like one account and one platform is all I can handle. And so yeah, it's not for me.
I think in my case, for like my Twitch streaming, it's music streams that I do, right? So I want people to come, and if they come to my Twitch channel, they know that it's for music. And I've been thinking of like, if I do any games or anything, I might start a second channel because we've done some community games and we've done some, celebration streams where we just hang out and chat or whatever. And so it's not necessarily music. And so I've been thinking about second channel, and I've talked to a friend about this, but both of us are like, whenever we start anything, like we have to put so much effort into it that it turns into like we got to monetize it. It turns into a second business kind of model.
Yeah.
And then it snowballs into this whole production. And we don't want that either.
Yeah.
But
and like
we want that separation though.
Yeah. And again, everyone's different. People can handle different things. I know I personally can't handle all that. Like I don't really have a team. It's just me doing stuff. And so, yeah, I don't think I can't mentally handle a second channel.
Yeah. I mean, with all of the other social media platforms that you gotta upkeep, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But I have been loving the new platforms. Like I've been really loving Reels lately. I know it's a far cry from what Instagram used to be. And it's like, well, that's a shame. But you know what? Just embrace the platform for what it is now and just, make the best out of it. And I've actually been having a lot of fun with Reels. TikTok, I'm trying to get my handle on. Same thing with YouTube Shorts, but with Reels, it's been pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. You don't just like take the Reels and put it onto TikTok or YouTube Shorts?
I do. Yeah, I do. But like, it's just so much easier. Like when you're scrolling through Reels and you're like, oh, wow, I could actually use that just to pick up and use the actual camera within the Instagram app and just make your reel. It's just way easier to do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't even think about it. That's why I love making those things. It's just one and done. Sometimes I do make vertical content for all the platforms, but that means I have to take out my camera and do all this stuff and, cut it specifically for this platform. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't.
As somebody who is such a perfectionist and somebody who really cares for good quality and stuff, with Instagram Reels, as you're saying, like you could just use the camera native in the app and then make your video there. Whereas with other things, you'd have to actually take out your camera and, make the video. With that like difference in the camera quality and stuff, do you care about that or no? Because it's just a reel. It's just a short. Like it doesn't really matter.
It's a great question. I think with Reels and TikToks, it doesn't really matter. I think for YouTube Shorts, I kind of enjoy making it a little more higher quality, just because YouTube Shorts tends to, I guess, be perceived that way, I guess, or at least the work that I'm doing. But yeah, for Instagram and TikTok, it just seems a lot more casual, a lot more fun, a lot more, I guess, realistic, so to say. But, there are some times where I actually use my actual camera for yeah. But, my most successful reel, which is almost 10 million views, is a stupid video of me holding my phone showing a slider. I don't get it. I don't understand. 10 million views where, the videos I would make an effort on, like using my actual camera, okay, 5,000 views. That's like, I don't understand. you know?
It's weird. It's so weird. There's no answer to how that works.
Yeah, everyone is just confused.
Can I ask you about like what you think about the YouTube climate and with like AdSense and monetizing your channel and stuff? Because it seems like there are so many misconceptions with YouTube, how people make money on YouTube. And like also just like lots of people do make videos on like how much money I made in the past year as a YouTuber. And it seems like AdSense is not reliable. It's just such a small fraction of what you make as a YouTuber. Do you think that even if you're like, I don't know, like a Mr. Beast size channel, like, do you think AdSense would still be so insignificant?
I would say 100% yes. I know with every creator friend that I have, like AdSense probably is maybe 10% of what they make total. I think I guess for people in my genre, we make the most money from brand deals. And so whether it's like a one-time video or like a series or a 6-month project, that makes the most money than AdSense. And I would assume the same for someone like Mr. Beast. Like I'm sure he gets like $1 million per video or whatever. But I'm pretty sure like the deals that he gets for making videos are multi-million dollar deals. And so again, percentage wise, ratio wise, AdSense, it plays such a small part for us, which is why I think it's important. Like, don't make videos for the AdSense, because that doesn't really matter. Just create videos that provide value, that are entertaining, and videos that you like, and the brand deals will come to you. Then they'll offer a lot more than what AdSense does. It does add up, I'll be honest. Like, AdSense, affiliate marketing, all that stuff, like Amazon affiliates, and then of course brand deals, like they all add up. But YouTube AdSense is probably the smallest for sure.
Yeah. What's the ratio for you of videos that you want to make versus videos that, like, I don't know if you want to make the brand deal videos or if that's just kind of like a have to make video?
Great question. I'd say half, because I like the challenge of making brand videos, because it's like you are making a professional production. And, in my history of filmmaking, like I kind of like that kind of stuff, like how do I make this thing provide value, like, but also how do I naturally weave it so it's not so gimmicky or seems like an actual ad? Like, how do I do that? So I like that challenge, but I also want to make videos for myself. And so for me, it's like I make one video, a brand deal, then the next one will be for me. One will be a brand deal, next one for me. So it's like, again, a nice healthy balance. I don't want to be one of those like people that like, oh, I'll never do brand deals because, my audience deserves better. It's like, bro, you gotta eat, this is, it's okay to think this is a job, it's a career, like it's fine, and I think the misconception is when it comes to brand deals is that, like say that, a new camera is coming out, right? I'm usually part of the embargo list, and, we make our reviews. And you get the comments saying, oh, you guys are sheep, you're only saying that because you got a free camera or whatever. First of all, we don't get free cameras. We don't even get paid for those kind of things. But two, it's a lot more realistic to see a bunch of other people's videos about that camera review in their own different opinions and perspectives versus watching a 30-second commercial made by the company, paid for an agency to make it look good. You know what I mean? Like you're getting a 30-second scripted video versus people's opinions. Like that seems more realistic to me. And if I'm watching a video by Becky and Chris of a lens, like I know what kind of stuff that they do. And so I'll try to watch their video in their perspective and go, oh, okay, cool. That's great. They make some beautiful stuff. I'll watch it in that lens versus someone like Gerald Undone, who's very technical. I'll watch it according to his perspective, all those specs, and kind of like pick and choose from the different videos and different perspectives and then form my own decision. You know what I mean? And so, so I think it's a weird thing that people like try to hate on reviews or embargoed videos. It's like, well, no, you're watching a bunch of people's different opinions and takes and different perspectives. So all for free, you're not there sitting a whole 30-second commercial scripted by the agency to make a product look good. Like it's silly thinking to me. I don't know where this is going. This is kind of went down a different path over here. Maybe great. I'm just ranting.
It's cool to hear about like the embargo videos and stuff, because I wanted to ask or like touch on that too. And actually Fong asked, do you feel like there is restrictive creative freedom when working with brands? So I guess like these embargo videos in a way.
That is going to depend on your agreement with the brand. I think over the years I've learned that I'm not always going to say yes to what the brand wants. You have to negotiate. If a brand wants you to make a video about this, you got to say in your agreement saying you will not have any input on my video. I will give you my true, honest opinion on it, whether you like it or not. And if I'm not getting paid for this, I want to hold this. I want to have that product 30 days before launch, stuff like that. I think a lot of people don't understand that you can negotiate those terms. And so yeah, I mean, when I first started out getting my first brand deals, obviously very excited, whatever the brand wants. Okay, yeah, I'll do, for $200, something small like that. And then quickly realized like, man, why am I putting all this effort for a $200 video? I don't like this video. Like, why would I recommend this to, or like this product? Why would I recommend it to other people? And so I think you got to take a stance as far as like, giving true value to people in your videos and make those terms with the brand. And don't be afraid to say, look at the agreement. You don't have to sign it right away to say, hey, I don't like this clause, take it out. There was a brand deal that said, if you make this video, we get to use the rights for it for our TikTok, for Facebook, for all this stuff for a whole year. And I said, no, I don't agree to that unless you pay me $10,000. You know what I mean? And I did that specifically because like I wanted to scare them. I'm like, I'm not going to give anybody whole rights to make my video for YouTube for their marketing purposes. Like, no, you got to pay for that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, you just got to negotiate those terms. Yeah.
Making it big time there, turning the tables.
But the thing is, like, when people become creators, it's like, this is you, your reputation is on the line. It's your channel. It's your platform. You know what I mean? So you get to decide the terms. Like the brand is wanting access to your audience. Your audience. That's your people, your community. And so because of that, you got to protect them and say, hey, I can do this, but I don't like this term. Take it out, or else I can't do it.
Yeah. I think that it's hard for, like, as you're just saying, when you started out with those like $200 deals and they want so many things. And you just, I think when you're starting out though, you're just like, you're hungry for anything, right? It's a little bit harder, I think, to.
It is harder. And I have noticed a trend where brands are kind of going towards that route and taking advantage of the smaller creators, which is, it's so messed up. It is so messed up. Not all brands, but a lot of the, well, I don't know what kind of brands out there, but I have noticed that, like, just people taking advantage of things. And I'm like, that's just not right. It's not right. And they know that. They know they can take advantage of smaller creators because, they may not have the experience, or, maybe they don't think that they have enough of an audience to negotiate, kind of thing, which is completely BS. But I think every creator should start to learn, like, no, you have the power of negotiation because you have the audience, they want it. So you got to discuss those terms.
True. That's true. Yeah. How did you like kind of get started with brand deals? Like, did you reach out to them? They reach out to you?
So the very first brand deal, well, I had when I started my YouTube channel, I told myself when I reach 1,000 subscribers, that's when the brand deals will come after me. I just know it. I know it. And then, days would go by, weeks would go by, months would go by. I'm like, oh man, I don't think I can get to 1,000 subscribers until the end of the year. And I had 500 at the time. And so I decided just to reach out to a brand that I absolutely loved, a backpack company. And I was doing some research, like, who do I even contact? Like, what do I do? So I went on LinkedIn and found the director of marketing for this company. Their number was on there. So I gave him a call on his cell phone. And I think because he was like just so surprised by it. And I said to him, it's like, hey, I'm an up and coming YouTuber. And I was like so nervous. I would love to review this backpack, blah, 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 blah. And he said yes. And I was like, oh, no way. Granted, it was just a free product, whatever. But that was my very first brand deal. But then I realized, like, wow, you can actually go after brand deals. And so with a simple DM or an email or, search through LinkedIn, like, if you really want to work with a company, go for it. Why not? The worst that they can say is no, right? So
true.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess like we put a lot of pressure on, like, if they say no, maybe there's a whole backstory to it, but really it, maybe timing is just not right.
Yeah, and I think with a career like YouTube, because everything is on the line, everything kind of feels personal. So if you get rejected by a brand, you might feel rejected as a person, and it's like this weird mental mindset that I knew I struggled when I first started, and so. I think every creator has to go through that. And so once they grow from that, I think they'll become better creators, better entrepreneurs, better business people. But yeah, it can play some pretty nasty mind games with you because, your name is on the line.
You mean we're not our work? Our identity is not wrapped up in our work?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Man, I love camera backpacks so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
Obsessed. I try to get rid of so many camera backpacks, but I have so many. I'm like,
you keep accumulating more.
I do. Like, I can fill this whole wall with my backpacks. And I've given a lot away throughout the years, but I got a problem.
I mean, it's just, you got a different one for every day. Yeah,
it's
different one for every function, though. Yeah,
different seasons. Like I understand. Like, my wife has like different bags for different things. I'm like, why do you need different bags for different things? But now I understand. Like, I completely get it.
True.
I got a backpack for hiking, backpack for like 1-day trips, a backpack for,
I
week-long trips?
I just got a hiking backpack, camera backpack, like
Ooh, which one?
recently.
Which one?
It's a low pro.
Okay.
I think Photo Sport, I think is what it's called.
Oh, cool. Yeah. They make some good stuff.
Yeah, and Brevity, you know.
Yes, they're great.
Yeah, Brevity is amazing. With their like, shout outs to Brevity, or Brevity if you want to sponsor this podcast.
Sponsor.
Yeah. That was like the first, I think, camera backpack that I was like, oh, this is really nice because it looks like a normal backpack, which is what every student at the time would probably want. I was going to school, have a camera backpack so you could, just like get out of class and go shoot. Like it's really fun. It's really nice. It looks it's so good. And with their lifetime warranty thing, like my backpack broke a little bit and they just sent me a new one. Wow.
Yeah, they're good people there. Really good people.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. Do you think that your film school stuff transferred over to YouTube? Or do you think, because there are a lot of YouTubers who kind of just like fell into it, or they loved making videos on the side and they don't necessarily have that formal education background. Do you think, how does that play a role for you?
Great question. I'd probably say that it did help. But I probably would have done YouTube with or without film school anyway, because I just loved making videos regardless. Definitely met some pretty cool people at film school. Like, have you heard of the show Stranger Things? The creators of the show went to the same film school, and I actually was a production assistant for their short film, which had a very similar vibe. So I actually know the Duffer Brothers personally, and they're good, really cool. Good people. It is cool. So it's those kind of connections that you get so easily at film school because everyone wants to work in the industry, and eventually people do. Like I have friends that have worked on Pirates of the Caribbean or working on TV shows and movies and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool to see like, oh, wow, they're doing really cool things. And so, yeah, just getting to know friends from film school is really beneficial. But I don't think it's necessary. Like if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have gone to film school. It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And so if I'd known that YouTube would be like such a prominent place for education, where you can just learn how to do different things in film and photography and all these things, then, it kind of defeats the purpose of learning all that stuff in film school. Do I regret going to film school? No, because I've made some pretty good friends. I had a wonderful experience, so I don't regret it. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary if you want to make content.
Yeah, because I've been doing, like, I went to school for music and I did classical flute performance, but like I do this singer-songwriter thing as well. Recently, I've kind of combined the two and I've been putting flute into my music, my songs, which has been really cool. And definitely I feel like I would not have been able to merge the two if I didn't go to school for music and do that classical route. But I also do think there are moments where I'm like, stuff I learned there, not all of it was helpful, Sure, I mean, like, I don't really care to know about the birth and death dates of composers who are long gone. But I guess, it's just interesting to see kind of like, there are all these different schools of thought, I guess, like people who got their formal education who are also doing this thing, and people who just kind of fell into it or like learned on their own to get to the same spot, Yeah,
sure. I mean, if people want to go to, a specialized school, just to have that education so that they can use it in their careers and they can afford it. Yeah, sure. That you have the freedom to do so. Totally cool. But for people that kind of maybe are not sure and they might feel the pressure to do so, whatever, like you don't have to, just maybe try it on your own. And if you feel like you still need to go to school, then yeah, go for it. But yeah, I think, I guess for I guess people in my generation where, we were kind of pressured by your parents, like to be a doctor or, do all this stuff, or just at least get a degree at a prestigious college. It's such a terrible pressure, such a toxic mindset. And I just don't want to place that on my kids. And I don't think people should have to feel that pressure at all, especially because it costs so much money to go to a private school. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm thankful for my time at film school. Would I have done YouTube regardless? Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah. I think it also like really depends on the person too.
Yeah.
Some people have so much drive that they want to learn so many things and they do it, and but some people maybe don't have the same level of passion, but they think
Hmm.
they want to do something,
Yeah.
but they can't really take their step forward.
Yeah.
Then I think maybe school is a good little push or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's different, and so they just gotta do what's right for them.
Yeah. When you came out of film school, what was your plan back then?
So I had so the plan. What they teach us at film school is that once you graduate, you climb the corporate ladder, right? You find a studio to intern at if you haven't already interned during college, and you just work your way from an assistant or production assistant to a producer, and just have a spec script in hand. Hopefully, that one day a producer will read your script and make your movie or TV show or whatever. It's such a brutal climb to the top. Like I remember working on a TV show, and which never it got greenlit to make a pilot, but never as a series. But it was just brutal. It was just I was treated like crap. I had to pick up an actor at the airport, but the executive producer thought my car was ugly, and so she was mad at me for having an ugly car.
Oh.
It's stupid stuff like that. And I'm like, it's not worth my time. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate the people working their way through it. Now they're like, associate producers for Pirates of the Caribbean. Like that's cool, but I don't know. I just don't like being told what to do. And I didn't realize like I was an entrepreneur. So I kind of like setting my own rules. And so, yeah, it just wasn't, I thought it was a fit for me, but it just wasn't a fit right from the get. And so, yeah, I quickly learned that, nope, this is not for me. Nope.
Yeah. When you were working that 9 to 5, then what were you doing then?
So it'd be multiple jobs, but all in the realms of like video production. And so whether it's like an editor or, a videographer, it would, be more or less that kind of thing. Very, it almost like rips away your spirit because it's like they don't care about creativity. They just want it done at this time. You have ideas and you kind of want to make great video content for that company, and I would generally want to elevate the company, but they're like, nope, just do this. And I'm like, oh, it's just so defeating kind of thing. Like I remember working for an organization and they wanted to make viral videos. Well, I made a video for them that hit 1 million views, and I'm like, cool, awesome, see that my ideas work, this is going to help. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that again, we're going to do this. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like you're seeing 1 million views for the first time and you still don't want to do like the stuff that I want to do. It doesn't make any sense. And so, yeah, I'm made for YouTube. I'm made to just run my own business because I just can't. I would get frustrated if someone were telling me what to do and I don't agree with them. So I don't think I'm a very good employee. I'm on the other side.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. It feels nice when you get to be creative, and helping other people do that. But yeah, that sounds hard.
Yeah. And there are some people that are totally chill with that, and like they like that, and they like the comfort of like, salary, 9 to 5, like the consistency. And I get that. And if people are totally content and happy, awesome, more power to them. It's just like me, I'm just not hardwired that way.
Yeah. So when did you just decide to do YouTube, or did you want to build out your own production company?
Both. And so this year I'm actually building out my production company, which I'm really excited about. And so, yeah. So I'm really excited to do some stuff and create some really cool shows. But yeah, I mainly had to get full-time jobs because I needed to support a family. Like when I was doing weddings, it was just me and my wife, so we didn't have any kids to support. And so, but now that we have kids, like just having the consistent money and all that stuff is just, you got to have that in a family. And so yeah, fortunately, after many years of hard work, it's just nice to know that I can do that as a full-time content creator.
Yeah, I think that because for me as a musician, I would love to be able to build out a studio and have people come and record, and I can have the space to record, and it would be really awesome.
Yeah,
So that's
totally.
like
Yeah.
my dream. Yeah.
Well, it's a step-by-step thing, just take it day by day and,
Hmm.
slowly make progress. And soon enough, you'll see the amount of progress after a year or so. And so, yeah. And I think, that's one of those things too, like for people, like, don't think that you'll make it the next day. Don't feel like you're going to get 100,000 subscribers like in a week. Sometimes it happens,
Yeah.
but 90% of the time it doesn't. So just play the long game and just make slow progress.
Yeah. How do you trust that process of like knowing, like I've asked this to others before on the podcast, but
Yeah.
how do you know what you're doing is worth it without that immediate return,
Wow, that's a great question. I think okay, so for me, it's silly, but when I first got my check from Google for a YouTube video, it was a 45-cent check, but it was a
Nice.
check. I was like, wow, I actually made a little bit of money, and I kind of saw the potential. But it's silly, it's like 45 cents. Obviously nothing, but it's like, I don't know. When I got that check, I don't know, I just was so happy. So I feel like once you start monetizing or even getting your first brand deal or making a little bit of money, like from, say, Instagram Reels, whatever, like those should be small victories that you should celebrate because it will elevate you to the next thing. And people generally tend to do better the more they do things, right? Like just humanity has a great ability to get better. And so just double down on that, trust in that, celebrate those small victories because they're so important. It may be something small like a 45-cent check, but celebrate it because it's going to motivate you to do better, to achieve more. And so, yeah, I would say celebrate those small victories, even if it's like I finish editing a video and it's uploaded. Great. It may have like 5 views, but that's 5 views. That's great. So, yeah, just hype yourself up, be your best cheerleader, and just celebrate those small victories.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we tend to put our head down and work and just kind of feel like we have to keep that going, keep that momentum going, that we don't stop and take a step back and look to see what we've made already. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And even like looking back at old videos, it's like, oh wow, I made this crappy video, but like look where I've come now. Like I used to be a Canon boy, right? And I switched over to Sony years ago. Had no idea that I'd have such a close relationship with Sony, which I'm so thankful for. So now they're a big part of my life. I'm friends with them, and it's just I never in a million years would have thought that I'd have such a relationship with a big global brand, or even get to do the things that I'm doing. It's pretty cool. And so, yeah, from celebrating a 45-cent check to doing some pretty cool stuff with global brands, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you host The Lowdown on Sony's YouTube channel with Jenna, right? Jenna
I do,
is
yeah.
Eric. Yeah. Did I say
Jenna
her
is
name
Eric.
right?
You did, yeah. She is one of my favorite people ever, and it's just, again, one of those things. Like when I first met Jenna years ago, just starstruck because she's just a big YouTuber, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting you in person. You're cool. You make great videos and stuff like that. But now we're friends, co-hosting a show together, and it's just been the coolest thing. Like we're living our dream jobs, and just again, never was on my bingo card years ago.
Yeah. I mean, also possibly like these kind of jobs didn't exist back then, right? Like
Yeah.
having YouTubers, come on and be the hosts of a show and review things. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, and who knows what the future will hold, but and who knows how long we'll be doing this show together. But just celebrating that victory, I think is a good motivator. Even like, I know this is silly, but like even getting an office, like my own little office, like, okay, cool, awesome, I'm going to celebrate that. It's a step in the right direction.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, when we were trying to schedule this call, it was like you were just flying out to all these different places filming for this Sony show.
Yeah, I was in San Diego last week. I couldn't do it. I'm heading out to Yosemite next week, and then back with Sony for Google. We're going to meet at Google to do. So it's like this cool, wild ride. And this makes me so thankful for, just supporting friends that I found on YouTube, like other creator friends doing the same thing. Like we're all on the same
Yeah.
boat, just trying to grow together. I mean, there's this terrible toxic mindset where people think like, oh, YouTube's a competition. You're making videos against your competitors. And it's like, well, no, like everyone, like we're all in this ocean. Everyone rises when the tide rises. And so like, let's just lift each other up. Let's help each other. Let's, we're all trying to do this thing together, trying to make it work as content creators. And so, yeah, just support each other. Be thankful for the people that you meet along the way, because you'll never know if you end up meeting them in the future hosting a show.
True. This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole like networking thing too, I guess. Do you consciously go out of your way to network with people, or do you does that just happen organically with your YouTube channel?
A bit of both. I would say when I first started, I knew I wanted to meet with brands and meet with other YouTubers. So back in 2018 or 17, there's this big conference called NAB, National Association Broadcast. It's a big video gear conference where people just like me nerd out. But I was determined to like meet with Sony because I just love them. And my wife came up with the brilliant idea of, instead of using traditional business cards, use a deck of playing cards and just write your email on it, because it stands out, right? And it's silly. And so I do that, bring it back a deck of playing cards, write my email on it, and just pass it out to whoever was in marketing at Sony. And when I came back and they're like, oh, hey, you're the guy with the playing cards. This is hilarious. I'm going to forward you to, our director of influencer marketing at Sony. And that's how it all started, just,
oh, wow.
Just it's pretty cool. So yeah, there are times where you do have to make the intent to network by going to events. And then, along the way, sometimes you just meet creators just naturally. But when you do meet people in your business, make an effort to form a relationship, why not? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's so smart.
It's all my wife. I was like, this is brilliant. This is great.
Wow. Yeah, maybe I should just do that.
Do that. It's way easier than buying professional business cards.
Do you find it hard because like I have made so many friends through the internet in the last couple of years, and I haven't been able to meet some of them, like it's kind of difficult to meet. How?
Yeah, I mean, go to play events like VidCon, Vid Summit. Both are in California. Just sometimes are like our local things in your area. There was like a little YouTuber creator meetup here in Dallas, and I got to meet some cool people there, and some have become my mentors and stuff like that. And so yeah, just find what's around you. If not, create something. Use Eventbrite, saying, hey, just kind of want to do a little creative meetup in my local town. We can all grab some coffee and just kind of chat, whatever, stuff like that. Community is so important. But I would say like one of the easiest is to go to those big events like VidCon, Vid Summits. There's tons of them all around. You just got to find them and just go.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about your YouTube videos and how well thought out are they, or how much do you plan out your video ideas and everything, and like the posting schedules and keeping everything up to date and relevant, I guess.
I'm getting better. It used to be just oh yeah, I'll make a video here or whatever. I wouldn't put much thought to it, but I think end of last year, now this year, I'm making more of an intentional schedule. I'm scripting things a little bit better, a little more specific. Like I don't have like a full-on script that I read off of, but just talking points, bullet points that I need to hit on, stuff like that. And then I'm trying to batch film a lot of content so that I can be 2 weeks ahead of schedule. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's a hard thing to do. Like last year I did that, but then I got 6 weeks behind. So it's so I'm trying to figure out this year, like, all right, how can I be 2 weeks ahead? That way everything is scheduled. So I'm working on it, but yeah, my goal this year is to have a more streamlined process.
How do you not get burnt out doing that?
We do. I mean, last year I got burnt out. Like December, like Q4 is the busiest for all of us because like just new products, whatever. So I got burnt out pretty bad, and I just took like a 6-week break after that. I was like, I'm not going to do a thing, just going to hang out with my family and not make anything. And so I didn't do anything until the end of January, which is good. It's good to have those breaks. And so yeah, and also I'm going to be more intentional as far as like really taking weekends off and not like mentally thinking about work. I just want to clock out Friday and just like, all right, I just want to have some fun, do something cool activity with my family, or maybe go on like a little road trip or whatever. Just like make the intention to do that. Cause it's, if you're doing it by yourself, like you will get burnt out. Even if you think you won't, you will, because you're doing a lot of things. And so I don't want to get burnt out this year. I want to live more of a balanced life.
Yeah. Good goal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What do you do when when you're trying to recover from burnout and you
travel.
don't want to have anything to do? Yeah.
Travel is my favorite thing to do. Like just during the winter break, like we went to this cool A-frame cabin in Oklahoma, and just had some like a really cool time, went on a boat, bonfires here and there and stuff like that. And so just travel is like my happy place.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
What about travel though? Like we were talking about this on my Twitch stream one day about road trips.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either that or like a Patreon stream, whatever. We were talking about road trips, and like some people really like the driving part of road trips.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like exploring the cities and like finding hidden gems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or some people hate driving, but they love, the other side of it.
Yeah, I love doing it all. Like I love road trips. I think it's so fun. And I do like doing the cityscapes, you know what I mean? Or the destination travels. And so I love every aspect of travel. I love it. We'll definitely will be traveling a lot more this year. But yeah, there are times where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like driving. I'd rather fly. Of course, traveling with kids, it's crazy. But, as far as like just the initial start of like road trips is always fun. And I love it. I generally do love road trips though. I think it's just fun, just kind of like exploring and seeing things and kind of driving off the beaten path and, trying to see what's there that no one really goes to. So, I like, we're going to be driving up the East Coast later this year. And so I've never really explored the East Coast. So I'm really excited to see what's out there.
Oh yeah. I feel like you've gone everywhere, but there has to have, there are probably places you haven't been to that you really want to visit. Like aside from the East Coast, like
Antarctica, I haven't been. I'd love to go. I'd love to check out Antarctica, Patagonia, Argentina, that whole area, South America. I'd love to go back to Africa. I've been to Africa like 5 times. I love it.
Oh, really?
Love it, love it, love it. And so it'd be cool to go back there again. And my wife's British. And so maybe we're trying to make an effort to go back to England like once a year. And so with that, if we're going to be in England, may as well explore Europe. And so, just lots of places to go. It just makes life more exciting because it's like, all right, where haven't we been? Hey, let's go there, next month or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I just wanted to make a comment that like your YouTube videos you're so hype in all of your YouTube videos.
Oh, thanks.
And like and considering that you get up at 4:30 a.m. and you have like full days and I can't relate.
It's because I don't know. I'm like that. You know what I mean? Like I get excited about things anyway. So, in person, I'm sure you'll, if you ever meet me in person, like I get so hyped up on things. I get overly excited just because that's who I am.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's amazing. It's great. All right. So for Patreon questions, Nico asked, has the proliferation of Instagram and TikTok changed your approach to videography and photography?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think with the rise of Instagram and TikTok, have maybe realized that, the perfect shots are less important than where the content is more important. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's a cool revelation because it takes the pressure away of creating the perfect shot versus just getting the shot. And I appreciate that. And I have appreciated more of the genuine videos filmed on a phone. I think there's something cool about it. Something, I don't know, there's just something raw that I just find really intriguing. And so, I think I've learned a lot from TikTok and Instagram that, it doesn't always have to be shot in 4K.
Yeah,
You know?
true. Do you have a posting schedule for all these other platforms, Instagram, TikTok, aside from, your YouTube?
Yeah, I film 2 to 3 verticals a day, but because of the scheduling thing now in Instagram, and like I can schedule reels or schedule shorts ahead of time, and that way I don't even think about it. Like I've got my weekend scheduled out already, which is great. I don't have to think about it.
Wow.
This is cool. And then and if it's like the same vertical for all those platforms, I just save it as a draft on TikTok and just post it whenever. And it's better to do it like if you film 2 to 3 or even just 2 verticals a day, like just save them on your phone or just save them as drafts or schedule them. It just makes life a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's true. Although Instagram has been buggy for me, and every time I save an Instagram reel as a draft and then post it, like it made my video upside down once or a couple times actually. I like flipped it and rotated it.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a little buggy for me.
Yeah,
but drafts are smart.
Yeah.
Daniel asked, how have friends and family responded to your career choice, and how did you handle any negative reactions?
Oh, it was all negative. I mean, like I said before, like my family expected me to be a doctor or nurse, Filipino families. So it was hard to shake that pressure. But I think when they started seeing some success, like I think it was a project I did with Mazda, where I was going to be working with them and drive up to the Arctic Ocean through Canada. They were like, "Oh, okay, I see now. All right, we approve," kind of thing. And so yeah, I just because I just knew that this would be my career. Like I just saw it so clearly. I wouldn't let that go. I just kept on, pushing into that, regardless of who wouldn't support me or who would laugh at me or whatever. But yeah, I would say like the majority of people like thought I wasn't serious, or it was a dumb idea, or I go back to school and do something else. And I think in a way it motivated me to prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Not that everyone should do that, but for me, it was like a kick in the butt to be like, no, I believe in this so much, and I'm going to show you. And it's kind of nice to know to be on the other end.
Yeah. When you started YouTube, were you already in a relationship with your significant other?
I just got married.
Yeah.
I just got married, and I didn't have a job. My wife did, and so I moved to England for her job, and also to explore England. But yeah, it was hard for me to not contribute to my marriage. It's like I'm not providing anything, and that's when I started picking up weddings and other videography gigs. And it was scary just even to mention the thought, like, hey, I'm thinking about transitioning my career into YouTube. I have no idea what it's going to pay me. I may not make money for a while, but my wife just said, all right, try it. And try it for like 2 years or a year or whatever it was. And if I couldn't do it then all right, I'll just go back to the corporate world. But she graciously gave me that time to give it my all while she supported us, and I'm forever grateful for her for that. But I think it's one of those things where to have a partner and communicate your goals and to say, hey, I can see our future be this. Can we try this? Because I want our life to succeed. Communicating that with your partner, I think, is so important, and to be on the same team and just to say, hey, listen, I'm going to need the support. There's going to be days where it's going to be hard, so I need you to help me out. I think is so important. And so for creators that are in a relationship, I would never, ever, ever believe that you should have to do it alone. If you have a partner, great. If you have a best friend, great. Just ask for their support, because this is a lonely job and it's difficult. And so any type of support is much appreciated. It goes a long way, especially, with nearly all my family not supporting the idea of me being a YouTuber at first, or my closest friends laughing at me. I had her, my wife, be that one support, and that was all I needed, and it helped. And yeah, she's been great.
That's amazing. Can I have her as my wife? Like,
sure, yeah. She can root for you.
She's just, I need that support.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Have there ever been disagreements though, like on your work and maybe your travel and stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean last year was particularly tough because I had started traveling a lot because of the show that I was doing with Sony, um, and she just started going back to school, so it was very difficult. But
Mm.
again, it's one of those things where it's like I'll be gone for this amount of time, but when I come back, you take a break. I'm going to take care of the kids, and that way it's a good balance. But if we continue doing this, this might uh, relieve a lot of pressure in the future. I just gotta, form these relationships, do these things, and you know, and also letting her know that if it is too much travel, then I'm not gonna do this. Or if I'm traveling to San Diego so much, maybe we move back to San Diego. I don't know.
Mm.
So it's one of those things like just keeping them in the loop, making sure that you're not off on your own and just doing things just for you, just remind your partner like, hey, we're in this together. Um, we're gonna need to support each other in this, and this is what I see in the future for us. And so, yeah, if you can help me do this, then I know we're gonna be in a better place. And
Mm.
so, yeah, it's all. It really goes back to communication. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for that insight. um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris asked, what is one of the most challenging aspects you found about being a photographer?
Um, I'd probably say the business side of things. I mean, generally speaking, I think photographers are all creative and very talented in their own way. But it's always the marketing, always the business side of things that kind of determines your success. Like if you
Mhm.
don't market yourself, no one's going to know. If you don't share your work on social media, no one's going to know who you are. Um, or even practical things like if you don't have a computer capable enough to edit photos and it crashes all the time, get another computer. And so yeah, so I would say it's more the practical and the admin side of things that's the most difficult as a photographer, as a filmmaker. But as far as like the actual craft of it, like that stuff is easy. Like us
Mhm.
photographers and filmmakers, we love being behind the camera. It's like just a second nature to us. So we're gonna make good stuff, but not all of us are business minded, And so that's for me at least. That's always the challenging part.
Yeah. Fong asks, do you feel the pressure to constantly create and put out content?
Yeah, still do now. And then I just got to remind myself, it's like, you know what? If I can't make a video this week, that's fine, you know?
Mhm.
Or, say just make a short or make a reel or something like that if that's going to bug you so much. I know I felt it the past couple of years. But then, at the end of the day, when you make a video 2 weeks later, like your audience is still going to watch it. You know what I mean? And so yeah, so I think the real pressure is just the multi-platforms now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if I'm making something for YouTube, it's like, okay, what should I do for Reels or whatever? And it almost seems like a necessary evil to do as a content creator, but I mean, that's kind of the reality, right? Like if you're on YouTube, like you should also be on Instagram or on TikTok or, you just got to be on it kind of thing. And so I think that's where the real pressure is. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, if you do feel the stress to post a video or to do this, whatever, like don't feel the pressure to like just take a break.
Mm.
And maybe even after your break, you might even be super productive and make 2 videos. If you make 2 videos, great. Schedule one out for this week and then, one for the next week, stuff like that.
Mm.
And so, yeah, but everyone's different. Some people love the high pressure, some people don't. But,
Mm.
but yeah, that's always going to be an elusive chase for all of us that we're all going to have to balance.
Yeah. Is there is there ever kind of like a significant drop in maybe views or something? Well, yeah, I guess views. Because I'm thinking like on Twitch, I just keep referencing Twitch. That's just that's where most of
Yeah.
my time is spent right now. So
Yeah.
on Twitch, like you have subscribers, which are different from YouTube subscribers. They pay a monthly, it's like a subscription. But so it renews every month. Like it expires at the end of the month and then people have to renew it and they can set up
Yeah.
auto renewals. But if I take like a 2 week break, that number drops significantly. And I've noticed that whenever I've gone on a little mini vacation and that
Yeah.
it slowly builds back up, but like when you see that drop, it's kind of sad. And
Yeah.
I just wonder if like for your YouTube videos, if you don't post for, a week or two, like, do you see a drop in views at all?
That's a great question. So two answers for that. One, there's always going to be seasonal drops of views, and it's always like during Christmas and during the summer. And that's because people are traveling, they're going out, no one's in school, people are taking, vacation time or whatever. So no one's really watching that much social media content. And so, yeah, so I usually see a drop in views, around Christmas time, always during the summer, but it always picks back up like, Q4, October, November, December, or yeah, October, November time, highest views you can get during the year. And then there's the importance of creating evergreen content. So maybe your camera review will only be significant for the, next 2 months or whatever. But if you make a tutorial on how to shoot portraits, that's something people are always going to look up. And because of that, that content is going to be evergreen. It's going to consistently grow. Like one of my most successful videos is how to create a YouTube studio setup anywhere. I made that 5 years ago, and it's still, ranking up views. Did a comparison between two cameras that I made last year. It didn't do a lot at first. Like it maybe had 5,000 views that first week, but every month it's gotten 28,000 views, later. And so it's one of those things is like create relevant content, but also it's important to create evergreen content, stuff that's always going to grow, stuff that people are always going to search. And because of that evergreen content, then you're going to be okay even on the low months, like during Christmas or the summer.
Yeah. Well, that's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like for YouTube videos, you have that opportunity for it to just continuously, it just keeps building on itself, because it's just there. But live content or whatever else seems like that's something more in the moment, like it happens and then it's gone.
Right.
Or like Instagram Reels or TikToks are just short videos that people probably won't necessarily go back to and rewatch that many times.
Yeah. That's why, it's helpful in my genre, at least, like just the importance of evergreen content. Like they will be your saving grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really like how in your genre of photography, filmmaking, tutorials and all of that and reviews, like it kind of seems like it's just a big loop. Like you can make a video on a camera, review it, and then you can also go shoot with it and then make a tutorial on the video that you just made about that review.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Exactly. Like my camera settings videos are usually long-term, the most successful because they're long videos, but it's a step-by-step guide on how to set up a camera. I hate making those videos, but I know it's helpful for people. And even though like, oh, good. See, there you go. Because I know like, years from now when people can buy that camera that's probably gone down in price, they'll probably look up how to set up this camera. I know my video will be one of the top videos. And so again, evergreen content.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What does making it mean to you?
Wow, that's a question. That's a question. Making it, making it to me is probably being at the point of your life, being at the point of the career where you're content mentally, you are stable financially, and you are having fun. I know those things are different, and it's even the financial part's hard. It's like what do you mean financially? Like is it $100,000 a year, $1 million a year, whatever? Doesn't matter. People are different. It's just if you could live comfortably, you could put food on the table, whether it's just for yourself or provide for a family, and you love your job regardless of the view count. I would say that's making it. And if you're content with all of that and you're okay, then yeah. I don't care about having a Bugatti. I don't care about living in a mansion, whatever. Like that's whatever. I'm happy with my minivan. It's fine. I'm happy with my e-bike that I take to work and stuff like that. Like I am very content with where I am and who I am. and just very proud of the work that I get to do. Very, very thankful for the work that I get to do.
Awesome. That's an answer.
Cool.
Well, I think you gave so many great insights on what it's like to make content for YouTube mainly, but you're a content creator. So thank you so much for all of that.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. I'm glad it was well, I hope it's helpful.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and it's
Okay,
cool.
cool.
It's always cool to like hear about, the thought process behind, how you plan out videos, how you plan out your days and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's different for everyone. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah.
Where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Sidney Diongzon. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Sidney Diongzon in the world. So yeah, just type my name and I should be there.
Awesome. Yeah, links will be everywhere, of course. All right, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.